Who really controls the narrative in modern football? The raw talent on the field, or the marketing strategy that manipulates what you see and feel? Revelation 1. It all begins with the highlight reels. It's not just a mashup of goals and dribbles, it's surgical selection. Every frame is designed to amplify João Pedro and Estevão as if they were the stars of a blockbuster. The sports psychology is crystal clear. When fans are exposed again and again to images of brilliance, an emotional bond forms. The brain links those faces to the feeling of victory, even when the real score doesn't match the story. It's pure conditioning. Revelation 2. The number 9 of the national team label isn't spontaneous. It's planted. When a player is described that way repeatedly, even before earning the spot officially, expectation creates both pressure and desire. The public begins to crave the prophecy being fulfilled. Brands and sponsors know that attaching themselves to this certainty boosts their value instantly. The crowd begins to believe they're witnessing destiny, not chance. Revelation 3. Thumbnails, soundtracks and camera angles turn athletes into superheroes. A close-up of a sweaty face, an epic soundtrack swelling in the background, a slow-motion replay. This isn't just entertainment, it's emotional manipulation. Sports psychology knows that humans respond more to faces and stories than to cold statistics. A mediocre play can be turned into a legendary moment with the right framing and music. Revelation 4. Comparisons to legends like Drogba are fed into the endless loop of broadcasts and social media. This tactic activates the nostalgia of older fans and transfers the credibility of the legend onto the rookie. By placing Estevão and João Pedro at that level, the public perception is fast-tracked into something that naturally would take years to build. The effect is powerful. Fans start expecting glory as if it were routine, creating a bubble of anticipation that fuels audience numbers. Revelation 5. Editorial insertions that link Champions League and Premier League weave a narrative of continuity, as if every match were part of a grand saga. Fans are tricked into believing that a domestic performance is already a preview of European glory. It's a psychological trick that keeps engagement high even against weaker teams. The feeling is that everything matters, everything is decisive, everything is epic. Revelation 6. Strategic silence on tactical errors is one of the oldest tricks in sports marketing. When the goal is to cement idols, mistakes aren't highlighted with the same intensity as successes. This reduces negative exposure and protects the crafted image. Psychologically, people remember what they see repeatedly. If the mistakes aren't shown, they simply don't exist in the collective memory. Revelation 7. The Brazilian phenomenon label is more than a flashy nickname. It's a psychological device, calculated to stir emotions in millions and trigger real effects both on and off the pitch. Repeated endlessly by commentators, analysts, and influencers, it creates collective conditioning. Fans begin to associate that player with something extraordinary, almost mythical. It's not just about ball skills, it's about the fantasy built around him. When this title is used to promote a classic, the narrative leaps off the field and becomes a global spectacle. International press jumps in, highlight reels spread wider, and social media debates explode. Every play, even the simplest, is interpreted as genius because the audience is already primed to see magic in every touch. This sparks a chain reaction. The more attention the player gets, the more cameras focus on him. The more cameras focus, the more material there is to feed the myth. For the opponent, this media construction works like a psychological shadow. Facing the phenomenon is for many a battle that begins long before kickoff. It carries extra weight, invisible pressure that can influence decision-making, ramp up nerves, and even provoke mistakes. It's the famous mental warfare of sports, where the battle is fought not only physically, but emotionally. And make no mistake, clubs and marketing departments know exactly how to weaponize individual prestige for collective advantage. Another critical point, the Brazilian phenomenon label carries the burden of tradition. The world remembers Pelé, Romario, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Neymar, and every time a new star is crowned with this symbolic title, the expectation is that he will join that sacred list. This doesn't just raise the level of pressure, it commercially inflates the value of every match he plays. Broadcast rights climb, tickets sell out faster, and official merchandise flies off shelves. Even more strategic, this narrative isn't just about the present, it's about the future. By shaping perception that the player is the next great export from Brazil, it creates a hungrier market, willing to pay astronomical sums to sign him. And as that global expectation rises, every match becomes an event. It doesn't matter if it's a title decider or a relegation battle. If the phenomenon is on the pitch, the audience is guaranteed. Behind the scenes, this also generates internal pressure within the club. Coaches, executives, and sponsors begin tailoring decisions to protect and project this golden asset as profitably as possible. It's a feedback loop. The narrative creates an audience, the audience generates revenue, and the revenue funds even more narrative. Suddenly, it's no longer just football. It's a global entertainment product with a carefully chosen and polished main character, designed to feel inevitable. Revelation 8. The scheduling designed to maximize search spikes is a masterstroke that proves how modern football is deeply entangled with digital marketing and data analysis. It's not just about logistics or TV demands. It's a chess match of algorithms, online behavior trends, and consumer habits that dictate the exact moment the spectacle is served. Key games are strategically placed on dates that align with holidays, high viewership weekends, or when rival leagues are on pause, ensuring all eyes focus on that match. Kickoff times are also chosen not just for local fans, but for international markets. If the Brazilian phenomenon is playing, the priority is making sure fans in Europe, Asia, and North America can watch live, or at least catch the highlights at peak online activity. This guarantees the most impactful plays flood social media and video platforms when audiences are most ready to consume and share. The result? A domino effect. Hashtags trend, clips go viral, independent channels replicate highlights, and even those who didn't watch live are swept up in the manufactured narrative. Sports psychology comes into play again. This avalanche of images creates the illusion of an unmissable event that reinforces itself with every share. Another detail often missed by casual fans, aligning the schedule with search peaks also maximizes digital sponsorship revenue. Brands pay premium rates to have their logos featured during high-traffic windows, knowing reach and engagement will skyrocket. Each game becomes a product launch. The match is the show, the star player the spokesperson. This calendar engineering also works as image protection. Matches with high risk of negative outcomes, whether due to tough opponents or player fatigue, are often tucked into low audience slots, softening the media impact of a potential loss. Risk management disguised as coincidence. Looking at the big picture, football at this level is an industry that uses TV programming tactics, digital marketing strategies, and behavioral psychology to shape fan experience. At the core are the players who, branded as phenomena, become more than athletes. They become living narratives, symbols that move millions. The most chilling part, all of this is designed to make fans feel like they're witnessing something unique and spontaneous. But in reality, every detail, from kickoff day to replay cuts, is carefully crafted to grab attention at the exact moment you're most likely to watch, comment, and spread it. In the end, the fan's mind isn't just the audience, it's part of the machine keeping the spectacle alive. And now, knowing that every image, every word, every silence may have been calculated to manipulate your perception, the question is, are you really watching a game or a script?